All right, welcome back everybody. Hello. So I thought I would share of those. I found my found part of an exhibition that I did, a piece that I did for an exhibition. It's a group show. It was not a private one. It wasn't just Nat. So what I had done was take Japanese bush honeysuckle, again, one of my favorites, honeysuckle japonica, and yeah, I just explored my changing relationship to it. So this was in my book 1, right? So this has the first stage, and in this situation I did print or put print on the pages after they were created, and then they hung down together off of a thingy. I may insert a picture here. So yeah, and the way I had to get this to be printed was the longest, most exhausting process, and it involved reverse printing something and then using a medium that would allow me to take it off the page and rub it onto the paper so that the ink would come out the right way around. I don't know if that even makes sense. I'll wrap that up and put it away later. But that was the stage 1, which was anger. What was it? Anger, outrage, and despair, right? Because of this plant is taking over everything. It's taking over everything. And again, with this one, we've got some of my details, so we're just going to flip it. I clearly never rewrapped it in its book 2 thing, which in book 2 was obsession / toxicity, because it became an obsession. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. That's obsessive. That was made, those marks were made with a rusty, what did I have? It was a rusty piece of a tool, I think from the pottery studio. Yeah, and here's all the writing. So again, I have really no idea how well that comes across on camera. I guess I'll find out once I upload it. But yeah, that was it. Obsession and anxiety. Hard to read. Hard to read. You have to come up close and really engage it. If I were going to do it all over again and do a similar kind of idea, I would probably print the page, the writing would be printed much bigger, and I'd find a different way to print it, I'm imagining. Yeah, here we go. Book 3, Space and Clarity. So I meditated with and on the plant using a methodology I had learned called it was called, is called direct contemplation. It was a really transformative experience. So this is just writing about what that experience became. And as you can see, the relationship to the plant has started to change, and you can see it in the way that it prints. Once I stopped obsessing, the plant, here was obsession, right? Here's obsession, where you're mostly just getting tea and grayness. And then once I started to see the plant a little bit more clearly, the printing changed. I mean, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I wasn't unhappy with these prints. I just thought, oh, maybe it just doesn't print well. Some plants are known by eco printers to be yeah, this is one where you get some really good color and really good marks. And others are oh, you're never going to get any good marks out of this plant. Don't bother with it. I've gotten marks, beautiful marks, from plants that people said, oh, don't try to get marks from that plant. It sucks. I am convinced it is the relationship to the plant, honestly. But that's what we have, right? It's so lovely. Book 4 is Love Obsession. So after hating the book, not hating the book, not hating the deck, But after going through that, you know, space and so forth, I started to become in love with the plant. And similarly, as I was in love with the plant, I was obsessed in a different way, right? So love and hate have very different elements of obsession to them, don't they? They tend to occupy our thoughts, but I couldn't stop working with it. I couldn't stop printing obsessively. Look at the flowers, right? In this case, it's almost like the plant is saying, hey, but what about this beautiful flower? And these are so teensy, it's probably better to bring them closer. Yeah, the clarity in the print started to change. I believe that flower is from, oh shoot, I have to think what that flower came from. It's, we have lots of them right now, and I don't recall what they are. Yeah, look at these. Oh, I couldn't stop printing. I just couldn't stop because of being so in love. That one, that's a point at which berries were starting to appear. And then here's the language, right? And the language is, the love language is spread all the way down the pages. So these two laid out next to each other, and the book was then hanging up. Right, and you get it all the way down to like the bottom, because it was like, oh, for a muse of fire. Yeah, it was obsessive love for a little while. Really, really like, oh, we don't have to do anything about this plant because we're in love. And so it was everything, everywhere, all over. I tried every conceivable type of way of working with the plant because of that obsession and actual, what had transformed into love of it. And then finally we get book 5. Where did the label go? Here it is. Here's the little tie tag, acceptance, right? Someplace in the middle, which relates, of course, then to the clarity space concept. So instead of obsessing about the plant, oh, look at that. Again, there is a different way. There's the berries. I don't know if that's coming out, but that kind of color there is from the berries of the plant. It changed again and started showing me very different dimensions of itself. And so we get this kind of look at the depth. Now we're getting depth, about who's coming forward or moving back and how. We get different feel. Just an amazing process. So yeah, really amazing process. So that was the entire, that's it. That was what that exhibition was like. And it was fun. I had, it was up in 2 different group exhibitions, because I took it into one, and then the artist, it was over at Maryville University. I think it was just the MOFA one, the Missouri Fiber Artists one. And then we moved it over to the Artists Guild at a later point in time. Wow. Trusting, let's see if we see this, trusting our innate belonging leads us to act on behalf of everyone and everything. Understanding this, we know without doubt acceptance is the practice that brings reconciliation. But we have to go through all the other stages first. We just do. That has formed a huge, a huge body of work. I mean, these are just a couple of pieces within that body of work. There's a lot more to it, but I really wanted to share it. I'm going to have to wrap these back up again later, but yeah, I just wanted to share that, as I have sometimes with artwork that I do, because it's fun, and because there's so many people have talked about like an interest in plants and an interest in working with plants. I should say too, this was also what led to doing, developing a whole body of teaching curriculum around working with one subject, right? And engaging with that one subject through multiple different types of media, and methodologies, and and so forth. I may do another like slideshow or something of photographs of different ways I've worked with pieces, because it's kind of fun. I have a lot of process photos. So anyway, thank you so much, friends, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye.